Hey, how are you? The crows are going heavy duty out there. So this is my second time at writing or doing this video. It's so easy to go into victim right now. Nothing's working out, and it feels really ugly and like the world's against me and all that kind of stuff. But I've learned some important stuff in all this. I don't know what's going on with that crow. He's going crazy. So let's put it this way. I've learned through great efforts that whatever our vibration is, if we're frustrated, angry, victim, etc., that's the only way that dark or low vibration can create through us. That's simple. How can you be low vibration and high vibration at the same time? But low vibration will pull you to much lower vibration, and that exists in all the people around you. There will be people, and I've discovered this very deeply, that there are ex-lovers, ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, ex-business partners, etc., that are so low vibration that their whole purpose is to pull you to their vibration. They will say and do whatever they can to create the same vibration in you so that they don't have to give up the reality that's safe but fucked at the same time. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just so low vibration they can't take any more, and they're scared of going up. They don't know that up would be even better or not. So I've had this happen. She kind of buried it, but I've had an ex-lover, and the only reason I'm going to state it is because she did put it on my timeline now. Her name was Bonnie. And 7 different times I loved this woman until she got like sick in the head, like to the point where she threatened suicide and I had to call the cops on her. Another time she basically went to my tantric community and told her I did something sexual. She claims it's not rape, but the next day I was banished from the community when it wasn't even true. I did some healing work with her that was completely in consent. It was not sexual in any way, shape, or form. But basically, after that, she wanted to have sex with me. And I knew she was married. And I said, no, you will not. You will not. I will not be sexual with you unless your husband knows. She didn't like that. Guess what? She told the big lie to smash me because my integrity was not in alignment with her getting her cake and eating it too. How can that be safe for anyone? And I sat with this for a long, long time, and I didn't know how to state it, but that's the truth. And you can go look on my birthday timeline, a little further down the page. She couldn't figure out how to post it on my normal timeline. She basically said she did these egregious things against a divine masculine, being me, and I tried to work with her to get it out, but she was dragging it out and her accountability wasn't there, etc., etc., etc. So I'm going to say it. She smashed me more times than I can count. And every time she'd say, hey, I want to have multiple relationships or polyamory or whatever, when she didn't really want it apparently, but she'd smash me afterwards. It's like, get jealous. And then I'll call another woman into my life and she'd smash her. And this is not the work of a rounded, healthy person. But I kept working with her, making agreements and trying to think it was somehow my fault in all of this kind of stuff when it wasn't. She's not prepared to go. She loves how I make her feel, but she's not prepared to go where I'm going. But I offered for her to go there. I did a beautiful post yesterday and said, here's what I want and here's how the path is. And it wasn't negotiable. It wasn't like, hey, either you want it or you don't. This is where I'm going. And after all that big share, I had to wait 4 or 5 hours all day while she looked at it and she says, oh, it gave me tears of joy and I want this or whatever. But instead of saying that, she basically just says, we'll have to have a discussion. Well, that's her narcissism coming out. It's her trying to control, her trying to manipulate, make it on terms that's safe for her. And it's just like, no, this is the path I'm going on. You smashed me 3 times before where I stopped going on this path to please you, and all you did was hurt me. And I will tell you, you want to know hurt? A woman scorned, a woman angry, jealous, she just shrieks on the phone. She basically calls me names and knifes and gashes and trashes me in any way, shape, or form to do it. And I just sit there and say, are you done? Okay, we're done talking. Goodbye. I have to be done. I cannot hold space for this. I keep trying to talk to you and you don't. You don't listen. You don't care. You are just hurt. Hurt in general. And a man can't interact with a woman that's hurt in general and will not. Listen, I can't be a rock for somebody that wants to smash the rock. I can't be somebody that's not willing to be for somebody a rock that's not willing to surrender. And I tried so many times. I tried, but it hurt me so sublimely and so painfully. And I'd come back and I'd leave in integrity. I'd say, hey, I gotta go. This isn't working for me anymore. Goodbye. Maybe we'll reconnect. 2 years later, that was about 1.5 years ago, came back. Oh, she's having all this trouble and guidance is telling me I have to reconnect with her. No, it was something screaming to get some help. Oh, the school board is raping her, and then she went into another class and these children called her fat hippos and stuff like that. That's ugly shit. And I supported and I supported and I supported and I supported. And as long as I gave her intimacy and fun and play, it was okay. The rest of the time, if it wasn't under her control, she just wanted to walk away or just take. So that's the one situation. Another situation, I had a guy that's parking beside me and they'd just been assigned and he can't park worth anything. He can't figure out where the middle of the lines are. So he parks too close, almost to the point that he's going to hit me, or his back end's sticking out and I got 3 inches to be able to pass him. And I had to finally complain. Then he does something different. And then 2 days ago, he parks in my parking spot instead. All I can see is the darkness, the angry little boy. It enraged me. I fucking wanted to smash that car and all this kind of stuff. Like people, I don't know if they're vaccinated people or not, but people that are completely unaware of their effect or anything in the world, I just see it's low vibration working through them. And then my rage, I just wanted to smash and crash and all this kind of stuff. And it's pissed me off and fucking stolen the last 3 days from me. And then my landlord promises he's going to get it changed or whatever. And he just lives off of people being pissed at him too. It's crazy. So I'm going to take self-responsibility and own it. I'm going to send some love to that vehicle and fucking get my parking spot back and send love. I got a letter from my landlord. Termination, 90-day termination of your lease or whatever, which is designed to basically put you in fear that they're going to steal your home, rather than saying, hey, your lease is up for renewal. Do you want to continue? But these are the low vibrations of the fucking ugly ass demonic energies that are underneath that just get off on everybody being low vibration and just be like them and their wounded children. And I'll tell you right now, the only way through is to love yourself. And I'm just going to say it this way. Loving yourself when you're hurting and when somebody's pissing in your cornflakes and trying to come back into your life and all they want to do is manipulate you and all that kind of stuff. Loving yourself is a task. A task. I can't even fucking explain how hard it is. It's like put your hand on your heart and say, no, nobody is allowed in my life that isn't in balance with me, especially for relationships. And for a long time, the only relationships I could have were people that were broken, hurt, like my mother. My ex-wife, Bonnie, as I just spoke of, they were broken. They were raped children and continue to be in that victimization of raped children. And I attract that in my life. And I'm choosing to end it right here and right now in this declaration. I attract like vibration to me, and I'm no longer a wounded child. I'm no longer a son trying to please his mommy and other things. I am an adult man that has a choice in his life of who he lets in and from high vibration. So in each active moment, the hardest thing I ever have to do is choose better. And I keep hearing this, and it's until you've experienced it to this level, it hasn't become clear to me how important this is. So if I go into nature and feel the sun on my face and feel happy, I have the choice to either be a hurt little boy that's walking around waiting for a relationship or something better, or I have the choice to say, holy fuck, I'm a really embodied man and I'm really happy, and none of those things from the past matter anymore. And really taking full integrity, I can't have better in my life until I fix this within me. And I'm not waiting for somebody to fix it, and I can't wait until the love's there and I feel all safe and all this kind of stuff, because it was never that in the first place. The safety is in me believing in myself, and me having the hard conversations with these people when they show up and they try and coerce me and manipulate me, and they're the best at it. Bonnie knew every word to say, everything that they give her another chance. She knew. And I'm not even sure that's her doing it. It's that wounded energy that's inside of her that's really good at manipulating a psychotic of the demonic energies. But I tried to let them back in. But red flags were going off, red flags were going off, red flags were going off. And I'm like, oh, what did I miss? But I had no choice. I've been programmed since birth. I'm looking at every single facet of my being and what I accept and what's normal for women and what's normal for me and all this kind of stuff. And I was going into the well-worn path. But the red warning lights were going off in my sides of my vision saying, fuck, your engine's burning out, and if you continue to do this, you're going to die. And that sounds like really overrated, but in my marriage, I got to the point with it, I was weeks away from a heart attack. The guidance told me and said I was giving too much. I was giving it all to my wife, and then all to my kids, and all to my business, and all to my everything else outside of me. And I ended up having to smash my marriage and smash a whole bunch of things to love myself. And that's where we're at right now. 12:22 right here, right now. But I'll tell you right now, sitting in that low vibration, waiting for somebody to save you and waiting for the world to get better and all that kind of stuff, is just dragging it out for everyone, including you. So in this moment, I choose to no longer wait. I choose to shine with all the light I have within me, and I choose to do better. And I know I'm a healer. I was at my drum circle last night, and this beautiful woman kind of came up and gave me a little nudge and, hey, how are you? And then I met her at the end. She told me how she had a big dark hole in her heart, which I feel I have some days too. And my healer jumped up. I said, hey, can I help you with that? And she fully accepted. And some of the work that I do is with musculature in the body. And a lot of women might think this is weird or whatever, but I told her, I said, I need to kneel on your buttocks. Your buttocks. It sounds weird saying it, your bum. So basically, those are the biggest muscle groups in the body, is our glutes. And I basically got her to lay down on the floor, and I put both knees, one on each side of her butt. And this might sound painful or whatever, but those muscles are so big, and they were so turned on and angry. I just sat there for 10, 15 minutes. And the muscles did not give up in that period. But she says, oh, that feels so good. And then I'm working on her back and all the way up her spine. And she's like, oh, that feels so amazing. Because the trauma memory is in our myofascia. That's the muscles, the webbing that's underneath our muscles and in between our ribs and bones, etc. And it just gets turned on, and it doesn't know how to give up. And so we just live a complete life where the tongue's against the roof of your mouth, your throat's tight, your chest is tight, you're not breathing, and your lower sacrum is locked up. And for that moment, I gave her the opportunity to break that down. And it was so beautiful. I could have sat there and said, oh, I'm so wounded. Why would I give anything to anybody else? But in the heart of hearts of me, I'm giving from love of people that are having trouble. And she offered. She has a healing modality, and she's going to do that with me in a week or two. Beautiful. That's how the world works. Exchange of love. And standing up to the low vibration in another person and eventually giving light reflection to them, which I gave. But eventually when they don't accept it and they just try to hurt again, you have to walk away. For me. And I feel so much better. And I got her to admit some of the things that she chose that were from her wound, and there's moments of light in between. And she basically, when she was in her light space, she disconnected from me and chose a new path, which was beautiful. It gives me, sorry, there's people that walk in the courtyard sometimes. It was beautiful, and it freed me, and I'm free from her. I made an offer, and she couldn't accept it, and she wanted to have a big, long discussion about it or whatever. Sorry, that's not the way it works when somebody's putting you table stakes down. And trust me, the stakes were so simple. It wasn't like, you have to do this and manipulate and blah, 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 blah. I could care less how she is, but she has to accept that I'm a healer and I work with other people, and you can't be jealous. And when you are jealous, you're going to have to talk to me about it. And when you're uncomfortable, you're going to have to talk to me about it, because that's her low vibration, her opportunity to restart in a low vibration. And if she can't accept that she can handle that and talk to me about it, I may as well shoot myself before I start. That simple. So the things were not like, hey, you must come in after dark and you must, but no, this is simple stuff. Like, agree. When you feel uncomfortable, say, hey, I'm feeling really uncomfortable, I'm scared, or this isn't feeling good, and we'll talk about it. But if instead you don't, and you feel scared, and then you hate me for forcing you to do this thing, I've never forced you to do anything. I told you when it gets uncomfortable, let's talk about it. And I could change my plan or my ideas or whatever at those times, but they're designed to gently nudge her against making a choice for her. It's not going to hurt me in the process and blame me and all this other kind of stuff. It's crazy when you get into the bottom of this stuff, how much love sometimes is in being direct and forceful, etc., to help a person see a change. And then when they don't want to see that change, or they think it's wrong for them or whatever, which is perfectly okay, doesn't mean I have to stay with them. Doesn't mean I have to hold their hand and get dragged through the muck with them. They will learn from your example of stepping aside and see and want you. It's pretty sick when we got to one point in the conversation and she says, oh, I can feel your skin touching against me in bed every night. And I was like, do you think that's a healthy thing? And it's like, I haven't agreed to that. You're the only one agreeing to that. You're pulling on me. You're attached to me in some way. That is not healthy. Having my skin beside you and me actually wanting that is going to be a way different situation that does not pull me into a bottomless hole of craziness. That's simple. So pull your vibration up. Every time you feel lower, you want to blame someone, you want to hate someone, or are pissed off, watch out who your friends are. Did they talk about negative stuff all the time, and did they continuously go into the toilet? Well, that's them holding on to the past, holding on to an old story, and literally, I'll tell you right now, they're maybe pulling you down so they don't have to go up. And is that okay? No. So just know who's pulling you down so they don't have to go up, and realize that that's the very reason you can't go up. Simple as that. I hope this helps. Sorry, it's turned into discussions of my relationships, but I think it's important because these relationships are happening between men and women all over the place, and you may be feeling the pulls of it yourself. And I will tell you, those people know exactly how to manipulate you, exactly how to push all your buttons, and exactly how to get you to sacrifice yourself to them so that they feel better about themselves. And that's their sickness, that's their trauma, that's their wound that allows this darkness to come through, stick two fingers up their ass, and be the puppet when you feel bad and when you're feeling hurt and when you're in tears and you're angry and all this. Don't let those people in at those times. There's absolutely no value for you to talk to that demon. You need to get to a point where that demon isn't present. You're talking to the real person, and then help them to understand when they lose control. Help them to know when they're not talking of their own. It's from the hurt and the pain. And if you can't have an agreement to derail them or get them to explain it before they get to that pain, you're never going to win. That darkness is just too good at it. And it's not going to serve you. It's going to suck you dry, and you'll be trapped here forever and ever and ever. That's simple. Watch your vibration. Stay positive whenever you can. This world will fill you with fucking conspiracy theories and, oh, this is about to happen and people are going to get hurt and all this kind of shit. I can't stand it anymore because it's all a bunch of lies. How many times have you heard, oh, it's happening tomorrow? Oh, this is going to happen. The EBS is going to happen. This is going to happen. Trump's winning. Trump's in jail. Blah, 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 blah. What a fucking bunch of bullshit. It's happening right now for you. Do you want to awaken? Do you want to be free? You want to jump out of the illusion? You choose it. Red pill. It's starting to happen. Do you think Neo could choose to go back after taking the red pill? No. So take it. And it's not about a bunch of conspiracy theory and all this kind of shit. It's about loving yourself, staying positive, heart-centered. Maybe that's why it's a red pill. It's heart-centered. Anyways, just some thoughts. Hard-fought knowledge. I have been in pain for the last 3-4 days. This person used every facet of everything that she knew to try and get me to choose her instead of myself. It's not okay. That simple. Thank you. I love you. I hope this helps.